I will freely admit that my life is a shallow search for the perfect martini. I decided to head to Mark's bar at Hicks Restaurant in Soho, where my old friend Nick Strangeway, a former World Bartender of the Year, had agreed to give me a personal tour through its history.
Well, I thought I'd make a drink that basically summed up what we do here at Mark's. I mean, I'm lucky because we work with the kitchen right behind me. And Mark always is looking for seasonal ingredients, always looking to make our own ingredients. So we've just come across bergamots, which is the essential flavouring in Earl Grey tea. And so all we're going to do is make a martini that's aromatised with bergamot oil. I'm going to use some lillet, but you'll notice it's got little pieces of wood inside it. That's actually cinchona. So that's actually giving that quinine to it and the bitterness to it, which is actually almost like an appropriation of the Kina lillet that was famously in the Vesper. But these things are wonderful. I mean, they're really highly aromatic. If you give them a little scratch, you get that Earl Grey note. I'll just roll it across the bar to you there.
Oh, it is. It's exactly like Earl Grey tea.
Yeah. Yeah. So
But very subtle.
Very subtle, yeah. Lots of early recipes for martinis actually had orange bitters in them.
You can smell it already.
And you can smell it across the bar.
You can smell it.
Let's start with have some oak-aged gin. Why make it simple if you can make it complicated? Some straight beefed, which actually should pick up those essential bergamot notes. We'll get more citrus in it. Then the lillet. So we've got 2 parts gin, 1 part vermouth. So I mean, again, it's relatively wet as a martini. Martinis, unfortunately, became very, very dry. So there we go. This little one here is Pall Mall series. This is an Edwardian style of glass, and the one just next to it is a 1920s glass. Twist of bergamot on the top. Right, there we go.
Nick decided to take me on a tour of some of his favourite bars in London, to meet some other bartenders and to sample the very different styles of martini they make.
We're at what I consider one of the great martini bars in the world, which is Duke's Hotel in just off Piccadilly. And we're joined now by Max Warner, who's the International Brand Ambassador of Plymouth. So perhaps you can tell me why we're here, although there's never a bad reason to be here.
Duke's is Martini Nirvana. I mean, I think it's the home of the martini in London, certainly, and the world home. I remember coming here for years and years, and you only came here for a martini. You didn't come here for any other cocktail other than a martini.
In 1886, Stewart's Book of Fancy Drinks was the first ever recorded recipe with Plymouth gin for a drink called the Marguerite. The Marguerite today is going to be made for us by the warmest of hosts and legendary bartender, Mr. Alessandro Palazzi.
Fantastic. Hello.
Nice to see
Hello,
you.
good afternoon.
Lovely to see you again. I love this trolley, 1908.
It's not mage, it's the The Dukes were very simple. We come with the trolley in front of you, frozen glasses, frozen spirit, a little bit of vermouth. So, as you can see, we got the frozen glass. I just add a little bit of a vermouth. And normally we ask you how dry would you like, if you like.
How dry do you like it?
I quite like quite wet, to be honest. That's my own.
But the key is for everything to be frozen.
The key, frozen, so the spirit is very cold because there's no dilution. As we don't stir or we don't shake them. As you can see, the Plymouth has been in the freezer.
It's so smooth the way it comes out.
Very smooth, very cold. And then the last step, what we do, we actually add some lemon oil. And as you can see, there's big lemon from Amalfi. And then we squeeze the lemon oil. One of the key factors is got to be very, very cold. So you can take your time, sip it, enjoy the flavor of the gin and the lemon. But again, you see the lemon oil floating on top. Smell is very important. And then you obviously have the taste as you drink is all frozen and then hits your body.
So I think, gentlemen, we should raise our glasses not just to Duke's Hotel, but also to Alessandro for making us the next stage in the history of the martini.
Thank you.
To Alessandro, thank you so
Cheers.
much. Cheers.
Thanks, guys.
So here we are in the third bar of the day. So
As you can probably tell.
as you can probably tell by now, we're all well into our stride. And we're in what I think is truly one of the most beautiful bars in London and also makes some of the best drinks, which is the Connaught Bar in Mayfair. And Nick, why are we here?
Well, the reason I brought you here, Simon, is I thought it'd be important to... We've had a stirred martini, we've had a couple of... and we've had a poured martini. I thought it'd be nice to bring it to a place where we can, one, have a shaken martini. I think everybody associates a martini with a shaken, just because of James Bond.
But James Bond didn't actually drink martinis, did he?
No, he drank a variant of it. He drank something called a Vesper, which is actually gin with a little bit of vodka and some Kina Lillet, which is, we tasted a little bit earlier, we tasted the Kina variation that I'd formulated. And he had a shaken version of that drink, which is, it gives a very different mouthfeel, a very different texture to the drink.
So I'm going to prepare you our gimlets, which is a combination of Royal Navy, also 1 spoon of castor sugar to give us sweetness, give a nice zestiness, citrus notes. I'm using a freshly squeezed lime juice. Equal amounts of lime cordial. Before I start shaking it, I'm going to give a little stir to dilute the castor sugar. And shake it hard, but with elegance.
After sampling such a wide selection of terrific martinis, we decided to head back to Mark's bar at Hicks, for as Sinatra might put it, one more for the road.